their country. So the other one is that through the chairman of RMAFC, whatever that means, it has to do with sharing money. The body that is responsible for sharing allocation in Nigeria, their chairman, who represented Boko Haram at a meeting, gave a very, very clear message as well to everyone asking for their own republic or even asking for restructuring. He said they had no idea what they are talking about because, you heard that tonight. So thank you so much for joining me. My friends on YouTube, how are we? So I'm going to take a quick break and I will be back just in a minute. I want to fix something.
Clear to you now how they roll. Is it very clear? Listen to the minister. Minister of Defense, Fulani. Minister of Finance, Fulani. Somebody that studied Sharia law is the head of the judicial system. Fulani. Is it very clear to you now how they roll? This is Politico Republic. Federal Capital Territory, Fulani. Agriculture, Fulani. Police Affairs, Fulani. Aviation of Fulani. Communication of Fulani. Power, Fulani. Water resources, Fulani. Everything is Fulani. All the 19 northern governors are Fulani except the Benue, Plateau, Taraba, and Kogi. Every northern, apart from 4, the rest are all Fulani. Is it very clear to you now how they do? This is Political Republic. Because Fulani have a game plan. From the word go, their game plan is to dominate and subjugate you. Dominate and subjugate. Where is their president from? Fulani. Chief of Staff, Fulani. Chief Justice of Nigeria, Fulani. Senate President of Nigeria is Kanuri, of course, is Fulani. Deputy Speaker is Fulani. The Army Chief of Staff is Fulani. Navy Chief is Fulani. Police IG, Fulani. DSS is Fulani. National Intelligence Agency, Fulani. National Security Advisor is Kanuri, of course, is Fulani.
Thank you so much. I quickly went to fix something there. So happy Father's Day to everyone who is a responsible and a responsive father. Happy Father's Day to you. I got something from my son. I think it's a Father's Day. Let me see if I can show you. So he gave me that for Father's Day, and it's quite, cool. So thank you so much to every one of you for joining. Okay. So again, share the broadcast. All right. Let them know that Maiyegun is live. There is a short story I want to share with you. A relative story. It's not a story. It's just a narrative somehow. That is so relative to what we're about to talk on tonight. We know that Nigeria is not one country. Nigeria is a country of many countries. Take a look at this map, right? You will realize that the impression or the false belief that Fulani or the North controls should be controlling or why they are in charge of Nigeria, that falsehood, right, can be easily debunked through the map you are seeing on there. You're probably going to see yourself and where you belong. And these are the countries, right? They call them tribes in the book of the British colonialists then, right? Well, if you look at this very well, I have nowhere in this map where a particular homogeneous North controls Nigeria or should control Nigeria. However, the colonialists, British, who colonized Nigeria, they came from the background of 4 countries themselves, whereby other ethnic nationalities as well in the UK who felt where they belonged had their own countries. And they came together and the United Kingdom was birthed. That's how they came by the name United Kingdom. But when they go out there, yes, They are British. And that is why even when Mary Slessor came to Nigeria, a young woman from Scotland, who later became, part and parcel of the history of our people, especially in the Calabar area of today. When they go out there, they are British, fine. But back home, the respect, the regard that they give to themselves as partners in a united country, respect is what should have happened in Nigeria. But look at the map very well. I don't know if you can still see that on your screen. Look at the map very well. You realize that even the yellow part, where you have the Hausas who scattered there and there, they took a vast land of up north. I can't really see Fulanese. We've heard about the Kanuri. We've heard about the Manga. We've heard about the Buras, the Gbayis, the Gbagis who actually own Abuja, the Nopes. I don't know where that conquest mentality came from that has now made everybody from those who are now at the lower part of the map, we, the Southerners, the Yorubas, the Igbos, the TVs, that they are actually now put them as middle belters. But look at that. I don't know what war or what happened that gave the Fulani that access so much that they believe that Nigeria belonged to them. This is your true map of what is today's Nigeria. Now, this is what they don't want you to, by any chance, believe in or defend. They want you to defend one fake Nigeria. But take a listen. Scotland, where Mary Slessor came from. Here in Scotland, there is something called autonomy. Autonomy for the regions. Yeah? Which Scotland is part of as the part of the United Kingdom. Well cleared autonomy, which allows Scotland. Listen, here in Scotland, even though we are part of the UK, when they made their laws in the UK, there are only certain of their laws that actually gets here and become effective. Some of them you may not understand, but people who live here do understand. One very prominent one is that if you are living in Scotland and if you are Scottish, take it that way, you will get your education, including your children, from their, from their first level to the university level. And if they need to even further and they need sponsorship or scholarship to fund them here in Scotland, you will get all of that for free. Maybe not completely free. When I say not completely free, because people pay for it, right? Scotland believe that their greatest resources is their people. The more they invest in them, the greater they can become, but not in Nigeria. Here in Scotland, you have heard about the EU. This is the latest one that could probably make sense to you. You have heard that UK have left the EU, Abi. For you to know how, how important and how powerful the autonomy that Scotland enjoys in the United Kingdom as European, if you have to live in the UK now, you have to get a resident permit like everyone else. You have to get a work permit like everyone else. But before now, as Europeans, you can work and live in the UK for as long as you want, same right as the British. Now, no more. But here in Scotland, when everybody is being told to go back to their countries, even here in Europe, Scotland opened a portal that you are all welcome to Scotland. You are all welcome in Scotland. If you have been living in Scotland and you are an European, now that the UK is no longer part of the EU, right? You can stay, but you just need to fill up this form, fill up that form so that we can know that you are here. And UK government, even though they control the immigration law, they will never be able to touch them. And there are so many other Africans who live here in Scotland who have found this place as home. You know why? Because as somehow as artless as they can be in other part of the UK when it comes to immigration and immigration, what do you call it, violation, which many Africans have violated anyway. Here in Scotland, they make it easier for you. You can speak to your local councilman, right? While you are waiting to get sorted, there are many organizations here, including government-sponsored organizations that will care for you, including homes and then medical care and all that here in Scotland, rather than except if you isolate yourself. Now, why am I telling you all of this? In Nigeria, you were supposed to be a country of people where everybody controls their own affair. That was what you signed up for. That was what those who claim to be educated today in Nigeria, whether they are in position of authority or not, as long as you claim to be educated, these are the real things that you should be advocating for, because that's what you signed up for, right? They took all of that away. They forced a unitary system of government on the rest of us. And since then, there has not been any peace. People have been telling everybody, millions of people, few people have been telling millions of people that except they accept that, they will never have any other alternative. Except you get that, or except we give you that. Except you take that. A conversation that we approve of is what will happen. And since then, there's not been peace. Even when they believe that they are in control, they have all the power, they can do anything, they can undo. But that did not bring peace. So what is the essence of education? If it is not to resolve, if it's not to actually find a solution out of a monumental problems like this, what is the essence of your education? Today, there is problem of insecurity in Nigeria. The whole world knows about it. Everyone, even all of you who are actually pro-Nigeria and still defending Nigeria for your own reasons, I understand. But you admit that when they say, let us, we know there's problem. We know those behind the problems. And most of the time, when you begin to mention those behind the problems, that is when many of you begin to lose your mind. You want to agree there is a problem. You don't want to agree with those behind the problems because you rather point fingers, it's you, and all of that. Now, but there is a problem. And when there is a problem, people are expected to react. How they're going to react, you can never tell. No one can control how people react when they are under the danger of either being killed, being exterminated, that we have seen right before our eyes. Now, before this whole madness comes on or escalated, look at this again. There is no Fulani anywhere that could claim or lay claim to any land in Nigeria. The reason why, His Excellency Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said the Biafrans are better off without Nigeria, which is right, is because, look at this now. Now, you now have foreign invading terrorists who have taken over everywhere, dictating the rules, and they've also have their own elites in government, including the presidency. Now, you see all those blue area now, you see all those yellow area, they've already turned black or danger red. You see all the green area, they are already turned red. You now see that the blue part that adjoined the yellow part, yeah, those areas are already turned bloodily red. That's the middle belt, what you call middle belt today. Yoruba land is bleeding. Igbo land is bleeding. Ijaw land is bleeding. Irobo land is bleeding. Every land in Nigeria is bleeding. all because you have the invading terrorists from all these outside the borders. Look at that map. Look at the border. Look at the borderline and tell me, if you are living in that contraption, the old map, right? If you are living within, you would probably prefer to die in there without having to cut yourself out. So he's right. And when he said we want to leave, look at it this way. Like I just showed you there, showed you there, right? Everyone from that yellow part who is supposed to be an Hausa man, Hausa woman, Kanuri man, Kanuri woman, they have done so much damages, these Fulani terrorists. They have done so much damages that all that yellow part you see today, there is no single of them Hausa in charge of who runs everywhere that they call the state in that part today. Because they now see themselves as, they used to see themselves as Hausa Fulanis. But now, they just all identify as Fulanis. Even though they are bleeding from the sword and the bullets and the smoking guns of these invading terrorists who have been doing it for decades. Now, why are we here? Why are people asking to leave? Why are people asking that, okay, if you don't want to break up Nigeria, let's restructure it so that people can control their own affairs? You can't sit anywhere and say you want to bring back grazing routes, something that you know is the primary reason why the whole country is bleeding and tilting and about to collapse now. But you are still adamant because you think you have that power. And then you call people asking for that restructuring idiots, which I actually agree they are. There's nothing to restructure. You can only restructure a structure, but you have no structure. So what are you going to restructure? That is why it is always better to break everything up and start afresh. When I say start afresh, let the people decide. The terrorists are killing the people. They are giving ultimatum every day, and they are carrying out all these attacks. We have seen them. We are like powerless. The military focused on the Biafrans. The military, they are now focusing on the Yorubas. The Yoruba governor says they are not supporting Oduduwa Republic. The Igbo governor says they are not supporting Biafra Republic. The Niger Delta governor says they are not going to be part of Biafra. But listen, who are these people? Because they managed to use the rigged system to get themselves the titles, the errand boys and girls that they are, senators, governors, reps, this and that they call themselves, when we can easily tell that they are not representing anybody but themselves. Who are these people? First, they will try to discredit you. When you challenged them, they will try to discredit you. When they are unable to discredit you, they will invite you to bribe you. When they are unable to bribe you, then they will attempt to kill you. When they are unable to kill you, then they will turn to blackmailing you, which eventually is just like rinse and wash and dry again. Then they will turn around and say, well, we want to talk to you. Again, they will try to bribe you. If they are unable to bribe you, then they will try to kill you. Again, if they can't, then they will return to black. It's the same thing. And this generation will put a break to it. And that is why they are reacting this way. Do you all remember that asking for your own country should normally lead to having a chat about it? Okay, the people should be the ones to decide. There are people who don't want to leave Nigeria. Let me tell you that. And let me be honest to you, all of you, that you want to do a republic so badly. So are some people who don't want you to have it as you want to have it. As you want Biafra so badly. There are also Biafrans themselves who will tell you, we don't want Biafra. Do you get that now? But nothing makes sense for anybody parading himself as a political office holder to say he is speaking or she is speaking for millions of people that never voted for him anyway. How do you do it? Referendum. Referendum can be a long list of questionnaires. Right? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Do you want this? Do you want that? And all, you know what I mean? A referendum will let people decide. We are angry with the Biafrans because of how they treated us during the Biafra war. We are Niger Deltans. We are this. We are not. We don't belong to Biafra. Save your breath. A referendum will let us know those who agree with you and those who disagree with you. And in a referendum, the majority carries the vote. All you need to do to keep to keep people from having Biafra, very easy. No gun, no nothing. All you have to make sure you do is that just ensure that 51% of you will vote no. Is that something difficult for the politicians to do if they love Nigeria so much? Instead of buying guns, buying bullets, sending people to prison, taking people's rights away, sending people to exile, sending people to graves. Is that too much for them to do? Very easy thing. You can shut, you see, when Scotland insisted that we wanted our own country, we wanted to be on our own. I am from Oduduwa land. I am not from Scotland. I am not from England. But today, I am a resident of Scotland and I'm a British, I'm a UK resident, so to say. So that gives me every right, almost every right, like a British. So, which simply means, number one, to some people coming to a country like this, to some of us who actually lives in England, it is a different perspective to them or for them. Do you get what I mean now? They live in England. To them, every Nigerian or everyone from Nigeria living in Scotland should never vote a yes. Why would you do that? You should be grateful to this country. You know, that kind of, victim mentality. That you should never come to a country and then join them to break it up. Do you get what I mean now? Because they lived in England. They have no wider perspective of the country they live in. England is UK. UK is England. But we live here. I have my family here. Right? I have my own house here. Which simply means everything that has to do with my own safety and all of that is here. And whatever protects that is what is in my own interest, not what the rest of UK has. But guess what? I have that right because I was able to know that I had such rights. That I'm not from here doesn't mean that I will be persecuted. That's one thing I wanted to also pay attention to in this conversation tonight. So we mobilized, we did all of that. The UK government, including the Scottish politicians and businessmen and women who believe so much in the UK, they invested their money, their time, their resources, everything to convince every Scot to vote a no. Why the rest of us use all our energy, our time to convince everybody here to vote a yes. Nobody was shot. Nobody was arrested. Yeah, there were a few clashes where, people, yes or no, Scottish people, if you live in Scotland, you understand. People can get into a bar brawl, yeah, whereby they just argue and say, fucking, you know what I mean? Yeah, but it wasn't anything to do with guns. At the end of the day, all they did was to ensure that at least 51% of the eligible voters voted no. So at the end of the day, the no had it. Nobody is persecuted. Nobody was arrested. Nobody was what do you call it? Nobody was what do you call that thing again? Deported. Nobody's ever, nothing. Everybody continue with their lives. Now we are also gearing towards Indie Rev 2 now, which simply means we're going to try it again. And guess what? As long as Scotland is still part of the UK, they are never going to stop trying until they get their independence. It's going to happen. Why can't Nigerian politicians, Igbo politicians, instead of them collaborating with Boko Haram to kill the young Igbo men and women, children, aged men and women, why can't they invest that money in, at least they do it in every election? Call for a referendum. Let the people tell you if they want to stay in Nigeria or not. Use your money, campaign, bribe people, pay them money, give them wrapper, give them food, tell them that they should stay in Nigeria, and then call for a referendum. Don't kill the IPOB. Stop killing them. Stop using them as your own leverage to keep your own crumbs and your feeding bottles as politicians. Are you with me? Same thing to all of us. Wherever you see the Biafrans as right now, you should be grateful that this is happening in your own lifetime. And it will be so sad if you let it slide while you put on your total ignorance from what is going on. You know why? What the Biafrans are asking for, what the Oduduwans are asking for, everybody should be asking for it right now. The Hausas should be asking for a referendum. The Kanuris should be asking for one. Our people in the TVs should be asking for one. The Robos, everybody should be asking for one now. You should be able to know what kind of country are we living in. You should be asking for that answer. Politicians shouldn't be telling you that something is not discussable, it's not this, and then you take it. That's not how it works. There is a problem. There are problems. The people who brought these problems are telling you that no, you can't talk about it. How comfortable is that for them to say? Then the Igbo governors came out. The same Igbo governors that met Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Enugu. Do you remember that?
Southeast governors are appealing to the federal government and other concerned citizens to allow them resolve all IPOB-related issues. The chairman of the forum, Dave Umahi, after a closed-door meeting with Nnamdi Kanu at the Government House in Enugu, told journalists that the event was strictly a peace talk. According to him, the Southeast governors will, in subsequent meetings, engage the entire IPOB leadership to ensure all issues are sorted out.
The meeting agreed that these demands by IPOB should not be absolute. Rather, the Southeast governors shall immediately engage the leader of IPOB, Prince Nnamdi Kanu, and the entire leadership of IPOB to further meetings and dialogue with a view to quickening the resolutions of all issues amicably. And we also request from all concerns to give the Southeast governors the opportunity to amicably sort out this problem.
That was them. A few years back. I think it was 2018, or thereabouts 2017. When that didn't work out, that was when they were promising him what they could make him. We can make you this, join politics. You can become a senator. You can be a governor. You can blah, 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 blah. When he now told them that, let us talk about the security of our people. How are we going to keep our people safe? They said, don't worry, we are working on it. He said, show me what you are doing. Please. They couldn't show him anything. Right? And that means the conversation didn't really go well, but they put up a face to make it look like they were still going to probably talk to him. It was after this that they sent the soldiers to kill him. When he rejected whatever they gave or offered to kill him. 28 people were killed that day. And when that didn't work, when they didn't get to kill him, they just went on to prescribe IPOB. To some of you that think Boko Haram is just this Voltron doing all manner of madness, He has his own alibis. They are the Igbo governors, just like the Yoruba governors. Look at this. They were also part of those who proscribed IPOB.
Security situation in the Southeast and its attendant consequences. The Southeast governors hereby resolve as follows. 1. All activities of IPOB are hereby proscribed. IPOB and all other aggrieved groups are advised to articulate their position on all national issues and submit to the Committee of Governors of Southeast, Ohaneze Ndibo, and National Assembly member from Southeast Zone through the Chairman of Southeast Governors Forum. 2. All governors of Southeast Zone are to ensure compliance in their respective states. 3. The Southeast Governors Forum, Ohaneze Ndibo, and National Assembly members do hereby reinforce their commitment to a united and indivisible Nigeria. 4. We also reinforce our desire for the restructuring of Nigeria, where all national issues will be discussed and amicably settled to achieve justice and fairness to every Nigerian. 5. We reiterate our earlier position that the November 18, 2017 gubernatorial election in Anambra State must hold. 6. Accordingly, we appeal to our President, our Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, to please withdraw the military in the Southeast Zone while police perform their traditional role of maintaining law and order.
So do you now see why Nnamdi Kanu called them saboteurs? You can see that they were just pandering to the, to the whim and caprices of their expected slave master, their commander-in-chief, the Bokwari. So they proscribed IPOB in 2017 themselves, 2018. Then the killings escalated. This Dave Umahi, who is now a member of APC now, is decamped to APC. I think they said that it was part of the arrangement that if he wanted peace in his states, he needed to decamp to APC. So after, being the PDP chairman of Ebonyi State, and I think he was also a deputy governor before he became the governor, and he's been two-term governor of PDP, then he realized that PDP doesn't support the dream of Ndigbo. So he decamped to APC, but it's a lie. Okay? It was, in fact, according to the report, was told that if he wanted peace, if he wanted his state to be listed among the states that will be peaceful from the Fulani terrorists, Ebonyi State, so he should decamp to APC. And he did. But afterward, they killed over 100 people in Ebonyi communities, and he started crying again. But I think he's recovered from those whipping and all of that, right? Because just yesterday, they took another dig using him to say they are against Biafra, they are against Oduduwa Republic, and they are in support of one Nigeria. Listen.
This is a communique arising from Southeast stakeholders' strategic meeting of governors present and past, Southeast leaders, ministers present and past, National Assembly members present and past, Senate presidents present and past, leadership of National Assembly, traditional rulers, our spiritual fathers, the archbishops, the bishops, the CAN chairman and leadership of CAN, leadership of Ohaneze, held today, Saturday, the 19th of June, 2021, at the Banquet Hall, Lion Building, Government House, Enugu State. Number one, arising from the meeting of 11th of June, 2021, with the presidential team led by Honorable Minister of Defense, Major General Magashi, retired, we, the Southeast people, agreed to a further meeting with them as requested by them. Consequent upon that, we schedule our own meeting today, the 19th of June, to enable us discuss as brothers and sisters and articulate our positions to enable us to not only engage the presidential team, but also engage our people over all burning issues. Number two, this meeting set up committees under the Ohaneze to articulate and address our position on all burning issues, to further meet among ourselves and thereafter meet with the presidential team. We, the Igbos, do reaffirm our commitment to one united Nigeria under a platform of justice, equality of rights, fairness, love, and respect for one another. We have noted threats by some groups in some other regions against our people of Southeast, while we firmly promise to protect everyone either from our own region or other regions living in our places. We plead with the leaders of other regions to please note the threats to our people and to please address the threats to our people and to protect them. We condemn the killing of security agencies, the burning of strategic infrastructure, and killing of civilians in Southeast and even in other regions. We request our security agencies to please discharge their duties within the rules of engagement and the law. Number 6, we request our National Assembly members from Southeast to please support state curation in the ongoing constitutional amendment. State police, to support state police curation in the ongoing constitutional amendment. Number 7, we condemn in totality the activities of violent sensationalist groups in Southeast and elsewhere. We firmly proclaim that we do not support them. They do not speak for Southeast. The impression that Southeast leaders are silent over some of our youth agitation for secession is not correct. Southeast governors, Ohaneze president, and her leadership, National Assembly members and her leadership from Southeast, notable leaders from Southeast, had come out publicly many times in the past, including ministers from Southeast, to speak against such agitations. In order not to mismanage the unfortunate situation we found ourselves, Southeast leaders have set up a committee to engage such youths to stop and allow the elders of Southeast to address their fears. Number 8, meeting directed our governors and Ohaneze Ndigbo to liaise with indigenes from northern part of Nigeria and other indigenes of other regions that are living in Southeast to come out openly and to assure their people and of course the nation Nigeria that they are very safe and well protected while living in Southeast. The meeting endorsed our Southeast Joint Security Outfit Ebubago and asked all the personnel of Ebubago to work with security agencies and to respect the rights and privileges of all those living in Southeast and her visitors. This is the communique of our meeting. Thank you very much.
I know as much as it's so cringing, sort of a cringy to watch, but you heard everything he said, yeah? He mentioned the Bubeagu. He mentioned One Nigeria. He talked about justice, love, and fairness. And then, state creation, which he later said where it was probably state police. Do you see how confused these rogues can actually be if you pay attention to them very well? Like if you take off the veil of a governor talking, just look at a rogue trying to make a sense out of nonsense. So they know that there is no love, there is no justice, there is no fairness. They do know that. They know that the Boko Haram's government have openly threatened the Igbos that their properties all over Nigeria, if they were thinking about their properties all over Nigeria, they will not be talking about Biafra. So they know. Now, they are not just unity beggars anymore. They were actually those who are now begging to be loved. Please love us. Please let us enjoy justice. Please let us, Then they were talking about elders, Southeast elders. They were talking about Ebubeagu. The same Ebubeagu they said they launched few months ago. When last did you see Ebubeagu anywhere? And they came and said, oh, we arrested Fulanis with cows because didn't Southern governors ban open grazing? Didn't they meet just a moment ago and they ban open grazing? So what is Ebubeagu doing? What is Amotekun doing? With all the cows we are still seeing everywhere, with all the killings we are still hearing about from the communities. Now they are saying, they are begging them, they are asking the National Assembly member to, it won't work. You know why? Those they are begging, they don't see them as anything. The man in charge of sharing the money that make Humayi make himself look like he's a governor, a common thug, with a title. A common political thug with title. The people he's talking to, they have broken all the moral code, all the gentleman agreement that should have been the hallmark of every leadership agreement. Gentleman agreement, being honest and sincere. But you are dealing with bunch of rogues who are wearing babariga and they are looking like you, but they are not you.
Those who are discussing.
Let me tell you what I want to show you. This conversation is coming from somebody. This is not just any guy. Please, this person you're about to watch, it's not just any guy. This is the guy in charge of the sharing formula. How much every state, local government, and federal government collects every month. What they call the Bambi Allah allocation. Now, the guy is now telling those who are asking for restructuring that they are idiots. Maybe you and I don't call them idiots before. Restructuring is old. It's fraudulent for anybody to talk about restructuring now because it is old. There's nothing to restructure. Maybe I say this guy get better answer. I will never restructure Nigeria. That's what Buhari said through this guy.
Those who are discussing restructuring, my question always to them is that, what are you trying to restructure? If you ask about 10, 20 different Nigerians, what is their idea of restructuring? You find that they have no idea what they are talking about. Some of them have not even studied the 1999 Constitution. The 1999 Constitution is almost 70 to 80% 1979 Constitution. And it's not true that the Constitution was shoved to us by the military. There is no military man in the drafting of Nigerian Constitution, whether the one of 1978 to 1979 or the one in 1999. Those were done by credible Nigerians, lawyers, technocrats, and civilians. So it's okay to demand for restructuring and it's okay to demand for review of the Constitution. But what is most important now is how can the Nigerian state make local government functional like local government used to be? How can Nigerian state make judiciary independent? These are the issues. When we were children, local governments used to do a lot of things. But like Mr. President has said, now you have a situation where a governor allocation will come to a local government, whether it's 500 billion or 600 billion, the governor will say to the chairman, okay, I have earmarked this project, that project, and then leave the chairman of the local government with 10%. And this is the greatest undoing of our system. So rather, I would ask Nigerians to focus on putting pressure on National Assembly members to make sure that that autonomy as enshrined in our Constitution is respected and is implemented, and similarly that of judiciary. So if that were to be done, some of these things, like the issue of security, you will find a local government chairman in collaboration with the emirs and all the traditional rulers will have a great chain of communication where they will really understand what is going on in their locality. So these are the things that I will urge all those agitators that are calling for restructuring. And I said also that majority of those calling for restructuring are people that have did their service, they left, they're ex this, ex that. They are so afraid to go into partisan politics. And even if they were to go into partisan politics, they will not win, even in their own locality. So there is no government in the world that will cede their authority to people that are unelected. You are telling us that to dissolve a system and then call for some obscure national conference to come and discuss how we move forward as a nation. That can never be done, and no government will agree to that. So even those who are calling for this, they should go back through their representatives, whether it's in House of Assembly, whether it's in National Assembly, whether it's in the Senate, and lobby and say whatever amendments they want to be done to the Constitution, they follow through the process and lobby like every other person. So we are fully integrated as a people. And look at the properties that everybody has around. Some of the Igbos here in Zaria, Kano, Kaduna, and other places, they have more properties and businesses here than even in their own area. And similarly, the same with some Yorubas. There are Fulani.
That is where I was coming to. Do you see that when he also said his own, he mentioned the properties of the Igbos? When you talk about, he was talking about restructuring, Abi. Then he suddenly switched to look at the Igbos and their properties. That has always been the threat. The only thing that they believe that, how can you have properties everywhere and you are saying you want to have your own country? Yet, these criminals, these rogues, these thieves, when they loot your money, they go to Dubai. They are not from Dubai. They will go and buy properties there with your stolen money, put their name in it and everything, right? They go to America, come here to the UK, your stolen money. So if restructuring or national conference or a new constitution finally says, let us break up, does that now give that Malam in Kano to go and take over property of Maazi Chinedu in Kano? Because Maazi Chinedu is now a Biafran. Does that give him, does that give him the right to take over his property? That's what to tell you that you are dealing with animals. He's talking about you going through your representatives. Joke of the year. They told your governors, you must all come out publicly to say you are not supporting this. And because we need to kill all these boys who are asking for referendum, who are asking for this, their restructuring or whatever they're asking for. We want to kill them. But we want to make sure that you're not supporting them. So come out and tell us and say you are not supporting them so that we can go after them and kill them. Because according to them, to keep their one fake Nigeria, everybody must stay together. So the governors came out and they said, no, we are not part of it. It's okay, then you keep your power. They don't talk, they don't negotiate. Because all they care about is that, baying for blood. And if you ask me, the reason why you can't go through the governors anymore and you can't go through the National Assembly anymore is because the same governors, they will call all of the National Assembly members. If they should, by any chance, go to that National Assembly and say, we will support our people for a new constitution. And let me tell you this, why they won't do it. Because anyone who raised that motion in the National Assembly, even though it will be unpopular, whoever raised that motion is asking that everything that exists in Nigeria today is going to be on hold until the people decide if they want to still continue with this Nigeria and how they want to be part of it, or if they don't want to be part of it anymore. So that is a risk that thousands of them who will tell you they sympathize with you, they support Biafra, but they are still collecting their money from the system. Oh, I support the Oduduwa report, but they are still collecting their pension from the system. Because once they push up that motion, everything right now will be on hold until the people decide. Boko Haram will be gone. And the rest of all these jihadist criminals will be gone back to where they come from. And that is something that will never happen with these guys. So what will lead to it? A better revolution, a revolution that will force them to make all these irrational decisions of begging people who are after and killing them for safety and protection and begging them for love. Please love us, please love us. Somebody said, no, you cannot be killing my people, right? And then at the same time,
It's okay. What stupid country is this? So when is this you press somebody's secret? When you like, you find secret. When you like, it's in public. What stupid country is that? What stupid country is that, I ask you? When you like, you try and you release. When you like, you go in private. I'm not killing my people. They are killing my people. They are killing my they are killing my people. After killing my people, you tell you to tell me secret. The person is mad. Completely mad. Tell Buhari, that's what I said. That he's mad. He cannot tell me. He cannot tell me. He's a not man. There's a contempt of court proceedings here. Contempt of court. They don't obey court order. They don't obey court order. You're telling me secret prayer. Is the person mad? Rubbish. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. That name that strikes fear into the heart of the Fulani Janjaweed. When they hear IPOB, they start having nightmares. I lead that very movement. Movement of the children of light. And have we not brought enlightenment to all the people? This very movement that heaven ordained must free the whole of Nigeria. Everybody must be free. And that light, the same way that the sun rises from the east, that light is coming from the east. As always. I am the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television. God gave me another assignment this year, it seems. Not only to serve the wonderful people of Biafra, but also to serve the brave youth of Nigeria. And that is what I'm doing this evening. And will continue to do until everybody is free. Until every corrupt politician is either in the grave because they'll be hanged or they are in prison. The difference between some of you and us is that we say something and we do it. If you keep muttering and bumbling, those things are bad, oh, things are bad, oh. Here, we make our dreams become a reality. Not because we have any strength, not because we are better than any other person, but because Elohim is on the throne.
That is the fear. That is their nemesis. That is what is coming. That is what will push them to make a lot of mistakes. That is the future. If you want it, you will fight for it. If you're not ready for it, there are those who are. While we wait or lament or talk and all that, there are those who are acting. The most we can give to them is to support them. That's the most we can give to them. If you can't be them, please don't discourage them. Because you see those vampires, they are united in their scheme. Blood flowing, people dying, destiny ruined, and all of that. It doesn't concern them as long as power is in play. And that is the future. That is the future. Because you see, somebody who told us this truth.
Thank you very much for having me. So, I have known Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Gumi since medical school 45 years ago. So we have gone back a long way. And I know personally how deeply he cares for this country and how pained he is about insecurity. We all are. And we have to accept and not deny that these bandits are Fulanis. Our Fulanis, not foreign Fulanis. They are our flesh and blood. Once we accept that, then we forget all the conspiracies and face the reality. What we will also not do is we will not deny them. We are not proud of what they are doing. We are ashamed of what they are doing. If you have a child who has gone astray, you don't kick him out. You pull him closer in the hope that you touch his heart. Essentially, that is the reason why Sheikh Ahmed Gumi embarked on this. He has for the past several years, been preaching.
Because he's got so much money to make from it. That's the most lucrative business right now in Nigeria, kidnapping for ransom, because you always have negotiators. And you have those who are also talking to the government on your behalf, using the media to also promote your, your campaign. That's what it has become. Now, governors have no right, okay? They have no right to think they can also speak for millions of people. You see, not even the Southeast governors. Do you know that Southeast governors are among those who are actually so shameless? They are people who have no shame.